We are going to start on our backs in constructive rest. And just before we even get deep into our practice, if you're in a room that's chilly and you think at the end of practice a blanket would be nice for your Shavasana, go ahead and grab it and have it nearby. That way, when you get there, when you're finished, all you have to do is relax. All right, so find your way down onto your mat, feet towards the outer edges of your mat in a wide position that feels supportive. Let your knees drop in towards each other. And just to start, let your hands come out in anatomical position. So maybe about 45 degrees away from the side of the body with your palms facing up, and just give a second to let everything find its way. And then as you start to settle in and you work out all those little wiggles, wiggle your toes, shimmy your shoulders into place, wiggle your tailbone into place, making sure your physical body feels good. And then start to give it a little time to just soften and relax, let the muscles relax, let your body quiet down. And as your physical body starts to quiet down, take a moment to just listen in to the sounds around you, the sounds of the room that you're working in. And then just as an awareness from me to you, I do have a gentleman here working on our heater system. So if you hear any banging coming through my microphone, just know that it's just somebody working on the heater and everything is probably mostly okay. So just if you hear any noises that are unfamiliar, it might be coming from my end of the world. And with that being said, as you start to notice the sounds in the room that you're working in, or start to hear the sounds beyond the room that you're working in, see if you can just start to allow the sounds to come in and meet you without having to reach out and give it a name. And then maybe allow your hearing or your sense of hearing to come a little closer to your physical body. And can you tune in and just notice any sounds that your body is making, whether it's the sound of your breath, the gentle movement of your body, which might create movement of your clothes, movement of your mat underneath you, movement of your hair. Just see if you can notice and hear the sounds of your physical body. And then maybe move your awareness away from that hearing sensation and back to the physical body, and just notice if there's any parts of your body that are calling attention to them this morning, anything that might need a little bit of extra love and care in your practice. And if there's anything going on, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, we're going to start by just turning the head gently side to side. So you might opt to go really small, gentle, and mindful to start, and then allow a little time for the muscles of the neck and the bones to find a little fluid, and then slowly start to find an increased range of motion, or a range of motion that works appropriate for your head and your neck this morning. And as you turn your head gently side to side, you might notice you might have a little imbalance. One side might feel a little different than the other. And if so, just take a moment to notice. There's no right or wrong. Take one more little turn of your head side to side, or even yourself out. And then as your head comes back to central or back to that neutral position, gazing up towards the ceiling, now we're going to bring our arms up into cactus or goalpost position. So elbows in line with the shoulders, a 90-degree bend in the elbows, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And then you might need an extra second to just kind of wiggle your shoulder blades into a comfortable position and then allow a softness to come back in. So soften through your chest, your ribs, your sternum. Soften your shoulders, soften your armpits. Give one more moment here just to allow your chest and your shoulders to find that bit of space. And then we're going to bring our awareness to our hands. So we're going to keep our arms in that cactus or goalpost position, and then just see if you can just press the backs of your hands into the ground. So it doesn't need to be an extreme situation, but just to feel that sensation. Press the backs of your hands gently into the floor so you feel maybe the backs of the arms activate or the shoulder blades activate, and then soften and relax. And then we're going to do that again. Just press gently into the backs of the hands. So you might choose to spread the fingers, anything that gets you there so you can find that sensation. And then notice the space between your shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, let that go. And then we're just going to do it one more time. Push into the backs of your hands. Feel the backs of the arms, feel the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, release, soften that position, but keep that cactus or goalpost. And now we're going to see if we can keep the backs of the hands connected to the floor as we glide the hands up, like you're reaching our arms up alongside your ears, just a nice big stretch. And then pull the elbows back down in line with the shoulders. And then see if you can keep the backs of the hands connected to the floor. Stretch your arms up and overhead. Your elbows might lift here. And then as you exhale, pull the elbows back down, back in line with the shoulders. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. Stretch your arms up and overhead. As you exhale, pull the elbows back down. And now we're going to bring it down to our knees. So we're going to keep our arms in that goalpost position if it feels comfortable. And you're just going to start to windshield wiper the knees side to side. You're going to maybe start with a small range of motion and then slowly increase. Or if you've already warmed up this morning and things are feeling pretty gummy, you might choose to go full range of motion right away, just assuming that it feels good to your body. Nice. And then once you've got those knees going and everything's feeling good, add your head turn as well. So knees drop in one direction, head turns in the opposite direction. And then just take that in a nice fluid motion side to side. Take one more time each side, or even yourself out. And then as everything comes back to center, we're going to walk the feet in a little bit closer. So feet are about hip width distance apart, heels a little closer to your butt. Rearrange your spine and your tailbone as needed, and then float your hands down alongside your hips with the palms facing down. Once you found your way here, we're just going to come back to that activation of the hands, but this time palms pressing into the earth. Press your palms and the backs of your arms into the ground. And then release. So find a softer position with the chest and the shoulders, and then do it again. Press your hands into the ground, press the backs of your arms into the ground, and then release. And then just do that one more time. Press your hands and the backs of the arms into the earth, and then release to a softer neutral position. And we're going to move right into pelvic tilt. As you exhale, press your low back into the ground. Inhale, release to the natural curve of your back. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. One more here. Exhale, press your low back down. Inhale to release. And now we're going to move right down to the feet. As you inhale, lift your toes and spread your toes as wide as you can. Exhale, soften your toes back down to the ground. Inhale and lift your toes. Exhale and soften down. One more time here. Inhale, lift your toes. Exhale to soften down, and we're going to move into the toes and the balls of the feet. So as you inhale, lift your toes and the balls of the feet so you feel the activation of the muscles in front of the shins, and then exhale, soften down. Inhale, lift and feel that little squeeze in the muscles in the shin. Exhale, lower down. One more time here. Inhale, lift the toes and the balls of the feet. Exhale to lower down, and we're going to move right into the heels. As you inhale, lift your heels up away from the floor. Exhale to soften down. Inhale to lift your heels up. Exhale to soften down. One more time. Inhale to lift your heels up. Exhale to soften down. Beautiful. And now we're going to pick the right leg up so it's in a bent knee position in a semi-tabletop, and then lift the left knee up to meet. So both legs in that tabletop position. From here, we're going to start to push the heels forward. So we're not going to go too past the hip crease, but we want to think about just extending the legs. And as you start to extend the legs and push through your heels, you might feel your abdominal muscles fire up just a little bit. So think about pulling your belly button down towards the ground or towards your spine. So we keep a nice supported position with the abdomen. But it's a gentle movement here. It does not need to be extreme, and you don't need to work up a sweat. So keep it slow and small so that you can really tune in and find that activation of those core muscles. Take one more push of each heel. And then we're going to take it into wind relieving pose. So right knee is going to come into the chest as the left leg goes nice and long. Let the heel hover, and then switch. Left knee in towards the chest, and the right leg goes long. And then just take a few times here, moving side to side at a pace that feels good to you. Beautiful. Now, the next time the right knee comes in and left leg goes long, stay here. Let the left leg touch down to the ground. And then we're going to take 3 times over to the left. So you're going to think about taking that right knee, but rather than supine twist, think side glutes. So we're going to bring the leg slightly across the body, but we're shooting to find a little sensation through the sides of the butt. So bring it across just slightly and then bring it back in. Bring it across just slightly and then bring it back in. One more time, just like that. Bring it across just slightly and then bring it back in. Pull the left knee into meet, and then we're going to switch sides. Hold on to the left knee, extend your right leg nice and long. Let the heel find the floor. Beautiful. And then once you found your way there, that knee comes slightly across the body and then bring it back in. Bring it slightly across the body and bring it back in. One more time, just like that. Bring it slightly across the body and bring it back in. Nice. And then pull both knees up into your chest. We're going to keep the feet together and think butterfly position. So we're going to send the knees out and away from each other, push them up towards the ceiling, pull them back in together towards the chest, and then smooth those circles out. Take a few times around in this direction. One more time around in this direction, and then when you're ready, reverse direction. So knees together, push them up towards the ceiling, out and away from each other, and then draw them back in towards the chest, and then smooth those circles around. Take a few times in this direction. Beautiful. One more time around, and then set your feet back down to the ground. Pause in a nice little gentle still position. So let your hands just rest wherever is the most comfortable, and then just take a moment here to come back to your physical body. Notice how your body is feeling. Notice your energy level. If you're feeling like you didn't get enough rest in the evening, or you feel like you just need that little extra slower position with the body today, be sure to be mindful and take care of yourself. When you're ready, we're going to pull the knees back up to the chest. We're going to grab the backs of the thighs. We're going to start to find a little rock and roll. We're going to rock and roll our way up to a seated ragdoll position. So legs are going to come out in front of us nice and long with a super generous bend in the knees. Think about pulling the belly up and over, and then fold over your thighs, reach towards your toes. Does not matter if you touch your toes. And then invite a little softness into the back of your body. Soften your back, soften your shoulders, soften the back of your neck. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully walk yourself up your shins. We're going to step the feet a little bit closer so that our feet can plant on the ground, and then right into a Western stretch. So fingers are going to rotate so they're pointing towards your butt, and then you're just going to place them behind you in a configuration that works good for your shoulders. So it might look a little different in each of our bodies. Press into your palms, squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chest. So it's a gentle back bend and an opening through the chest and the heart space. So lift your heart. Lift your chin, lift your gaze, take a nice big breath. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly release. We're going to catch hold of the knees and move right into a seated cat-cow here, just to kind of soothe all that out. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale to round your back and hang on to those knees. Inhale to lift your chest. Exhale to round your back. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. Nice. And then find a neutral position with the spine. We're going to floss the hamstring. So we're going to grab hold of the right leg, make a little basket weave, pick that leg up. As you inhale, you're going to kick the leg up, flex the foot, lift your chin. Exhale and soften it all down. Tuck your chin slightly toward your chest. Inhale, lift the foot, flex the foot, lift your chin. Exhale, soften down, tuck your chin. Beautiful. One more time here. Inhale, lift your foot, lift your chin. Exhale to soften down, tuck your chin, and then set that foot down, reset to the other side. Grab hold of that left leg, pick it up, and then away we go. Inhale, lift your leg, lift your chin, flex your foot. Exhale to soften down, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale to lift your leg, flex your foot, lift your chin. Exhale, soften down, tuck your chin. Beautiful. One more time here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to soften down. Nice. And then we're going to take it into a little half butterfly position. So you're going to externally rotate the right knee, but the left leg is going to extend nice and long. And we want to keep our hips facing forward. So square up your hips so that they're facing out to the left leg. And then once you found your way there, think about lifting up and over, but we're just going to kind of walk our hands out. So keep that nice long position with the spine. Walk your hands just to the point where you feel a little sensation in the back of your left hamstring, and then pause. Keep that nice long active spine. Keep reaching through the crown of your head. A little energy down into your feet and your toes. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Slowly and mindfully walk yourself back up. You're going to lean back into your sits bones and you're going to switch. Right leg is going to extend long. Left leg is going to come in. Take a moment to reposition and make sure your hips are squared up. And then once you feel like you're there, keep that nice long spine and just start to walk yourself out just to the point where you feel sensation in the back of your right thigh. Beautiful. Take one more breath. Awesome. Walk yourself up nice and slow. Now both soles of the feet together right into your cobbler's pose or butterfly position. So once you've got yourself sort of worked into that position, lean your heart forward just a little bit and then pull yourself back up nice and easy. Lean your heart forward just a little bit and then pull yourself back up. One more just like that. Lean your heart forward just a little bit. Pull yourself back up and then maintain that nice tall spine. And we're just going to tune into the head and the neck. So we're going to pull the chin back like we're making a little double chin. So think back and down and then release. And then pull the chin back. And this time we're going to hold just for an extra second. So you might feel a little activation in the armpit, chest, or the muscles in the back of the neck, and then release. And then do that just one more time. Pull the chin back, nice and strong. Beautiful. And then release. And now we're going to wiggle out our shoulders and wiggle out our toes and then take it right into an easy seat position. So lean back into your sits bones, cross your legs, wiggle into your sits bones. Right hand's going to touch down to the ground. Left hand's going to reach up. Take a nice gentle side bend. Beautiful. Take it over to the other side. Left hand down, right hand reaches up. Awesome. Bring it back up to center and take it into a seated twist. Left hand's going to find the right knee, right hand behind you. Take one more breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, release, take your twist over to the other side. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release back to center. And then we're going to find our way up into a tabletop position. So you might choose to just flip yourself on up and swing your legs out, or you might choose to come into your tabletop in any way that works great for your body. So once you've found your way up into your tabletop position, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, right away, we're going to curl the toes under, pull your butt back towards your heels, stretch the toes and the bottoms of the feet, and then come up, shoulders in line with the wrists. Keep the toes curled under, pull your butt back towards your heels. Come forward, bring your shoulders in line with the wrists. Lovely. One more time, just like that. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Come forward, shoulders in line with the wrist. Keep the toes curled under, move into that cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Keep the toes curled under, exhale, round your back. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Last one here. Inhale, drop your belly, but keep the belly dropped, keep the chest lifted, and then take 3 good nods of your head up and down, keeping the toes curled under if you can. Beautiful. And then bring your head to a neutral position, release your toes, pull the abdominal muscles up and in. And then from here, keep your hips in line with your knees, right into puppy pose. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat, as wide as feels good for your shoulders, and then let your chest and your forehead sink down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. When you're ready, nice and slow, bring it back into your tabletop position, walking those hands back up and in. We're going to slide the right leg back with the toes curled under and just one big push back into that heel. So you're just going to feel that gentle stretch in the heel and the calf, and then pause there for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, bring that foot in and we're going to switch to the other side. Left leg is going to slide back, toes curled under, push back into your heels. Stay right there. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring it all back in. Big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. We're going to come right back to extended child's pose. So take your knees out as wide as feels right to you. Pull your butt back to your heels. And then we're going to bring a little length and reach through the arms. So take a second to make sure your butt and your hips are happy and your knees feel good. And then reach through the fingertips, nice and active through the arms. Maybe even a little active through the back of your neck and the back of your body. So find that nice reaching sensation. Take a nice big breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then with that reaching sensation, we're going to walk over to the left. So you're going to keep your butt back towards your heels, but walk your hands off the left edge of your mat. Right hand is going to stack on top of the left, but we're going to keep that reach through the arms. So think about reaching through the fingertips as you let your elbows get nice and heavy. Take a big breath in. Cool. And then walk through center and then over and off to the other side. Left hand is going to stack on top of the right hand, but find that reach through the arms. As you reach through the arms and the fingers, let the elbows soften down. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. Bring it back through center. We're going to keep our knees in a wide position. So lift back up into your tabletop, but swing the toes out to meet the knees. So you get that nice wide position at the base of your mat. Left hand underneath your nose, right hand's going to reach up to the sky, a little twist in the thoracic spine, look up towards the ceiling, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Bring that hand down underneath your nose. Left hand's going to reach up towards the sky. Awesome. And then release both hands out nice and wide. So find the outer edges of your mat, knees wide, toes wide, hands wide, curl your toes under. And then when you're ready, exhale and lift up into a nice wide downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're going to soften our knees and walk our hands back towards our feet. So we're going to come towards the back edge of the mat into a nice wide folded position. And then once you've found your way here, just a little gentle sway side to side. Let your arms be kind of heavy. Let your knees swing a little bit with you. Feel your feet connected to the floor. Notice your spine. Notice your knees. Notice your back. Take one more little sway side to side. And then we're going to find a slight external rotation of the feet. So turn your toes out to the left and to the right, just a little bit. And then bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. We're going to roll up to a standing position. And then as you come on up, we're going to flip those arms into that goalpost and move right into our goddess squat. So make sure your knees and your toes feel like they're in a good position. And then we're going to bend the knees, sink the butt down. Think about pulling your elbows back so we get a little engagement in the back of the body, squeezing between the shoulder blades. Gaze is forward or slightly up, nice and strong here. Think about sinking your butt down just a little bit further. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Keep that strong position with the legs, and we're going to bring our hands down to the knees, and we're going to think about pulling the belly up and over so we create a little bit of space through our center, and then move right into a twist. Exhale, left shoulder towards the right knee. Inhale and bring it back to center. Exhale, right shoulder towards the left knee. Inhale, bring it back to center. And you can push into your knee as you rotate if that feels good to do so, or you can keep a softer position if that feels better for you. Exhale as you twist. Inhale, bring it back to center. Beautiful. One more time each side. Exhale, twist. Inhale to center. Exhale to twist. Inhale to center. Nice. And then we're going to come right back up, and you're going to position your legs either with a slight external rotation or toes and knees pointing fairly forward. That'll be totally up to you. But we're going to bring our hands together, get our little Charlie's Angel Mudra, our temple mudra. Inhale, you're going to lift your arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, we're going to bend the knees a little bit, swing the hands through. And first round is just to find your range of motion, where your hand's going to land. And then we're going to pick up the pace. So we're going to inhale to come up and exhale to throw the arms through. And then you're going to get nice and fast. You're going to go at a pace that works good for you. If you did not get a good night's sleep or your energy level was low, you might choose to keep this at a slower pace. If you're feeling good, everything's feeling revved up, you go just as fast as feels good for you. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And then as you come on up, release your hands down at your sides. Pause just for a moment and just notice. Eyes closed or open, that's totally up to you. But notice, you might feel a fresh wave of blood running through your body. Your heart rate might be up a little bit. Your breath might be up just a little bit. Take a nice big breath in. Nice slow breath out. Beautiful. When you're ready, soften your knees, tuck your chin down to your chest. We're going to roll our way down to the ground. So think about peeling your back away from a wall as you roll your way down. Once your hands find the ground, walk your hands forward, walk your feet in, find your way into a downward facing dog position, and then start to pedal out the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. Take one more pedal of each leg. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. Feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, super generous bend in the knees. Let your head hang nice and heavy here. Take a big inhale. Slow breath out. Still keeping that bend in the knees. We're going to walk our hands up to the tops of the knees or where the knees meet the thighs, and then push into those knees so that you can rise up with a more flat back position. And when I say flat back, it's not truly flat, but we just find that nice length in the spine. So once you've found that position here, we're going to move right into our Uddiyana Bandha, that nice flying up block. Take a big inhale. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck your abdominal muscles in just as far as you can. Find that hollow belly. Hold it for a moment. And then release the muscles, take your inhale. Exhale, at the end of the exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in. Hold it as long as you can. Release the muscles and then take your inhale. One more time here, inhale. At the end of your exhale, suck the abdominal muscles in, making that nice hollow belly. Hold it just as long as you can. And then when you're ready, release, take your inhale, push into your feet, rise up to standing, and then pause just for a moment. Allow your abdominal muscles to relax. Take a nice big breath in. Nice slow breath out. Beautiful. And then as you come to the top of your mat, just take a second, get yourself all set up, get your clothes fixed, get your hair fixed, and then find your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward. A nice upright position with the spine, lifting up through the crown of your head, and then just see if you can bring a little energy down into your fingers. When you're ready, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers here, flip the palms, press them forward, glide your shoulders down, pull your belly button towards your spine, press the palms up and overhead. Take a little side bend one way. Come back to center. A little side bend the other way. Come back to center, unlace your fingers, float your hands down, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to interlace again, but this time the weird way. So interlace your fingers, the opposite interlace. Press your palms forward, glide the shoulders down, pull the belly button in. And then when you're ready, lift the arms up and overhead. Take a little side bend one way. Come back to center, side bend the other way. Come back to center, unlace your fingers, float your hands down, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Nice. And as it is half past the hour, if you have to get on with the rest of your day, I hope that it's amazing. But if you're sticking around, we are going to pick up the pace just a little bit. So start by just shifting your weight over to your left foot. We're going to bring our hands to our hips, and we're just going to tune into how our hips move as we shift our balance. So shift your weight onto your left foot. Slide your right foot back. The toe is going to stay on the ground, and then notice, did your right hip pick up just a little bit to create that sense of balance on your left leg? Can you square up your hips from here, keeping the big toe on the ground? And then slide that foot in, shift your weight over to your right foot. Just tune in and notice, how do your hands move under, and how do your hips move underneath your hands? Slide your left leg back, toe stays on the ground. Square up your hips if they moved. Can you keep your hips squared up as you slide that left leg back in? Beautiful. Back over to that left foot. Shift your weight over. Can you square up your hips and then slide your right leg back? And then from here, once your big toe reaches the point where if you go any further, it's going to lift. Can you lift the big toe? Keep your hips square. Gaze forward. Take a nice big breath. And then let the toe touch down to the ground. Keep your hips square. Slide that foot in. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Keep your hips square if you can. Slide your left big toe back. And then just to the point you can't slide it back any further, let it lift maybe an inch or so away from the floor, but keep your hips squared up if you can. Lovely. Let the toe touch down. Slide it in. Keep the hips squared up if you can. And then come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back. We're going to come to a 90-90 lunge. So we're going to bring that knee down to the ground, square up that lunge, pull that left hip crease back, reach your arms up and overhead, look to the sky. We're going to think about drawing the tailbone down. So we're finding a little length through the front of that right hip pocket. Look up to the sky, take a nice big breath. From here, we're going to take it into a little twist. So right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand to the hip, rotating to the left, and you can leverage against that knee to deepen your rotation if it feels good. Maybe looking over your back shoulder, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Unwind, and then keeping your left hand on the hip, right hand's going to reach back up. We're going to take 3 little side bends here. So lean over to the left, pull it back up with control. Lean over to the left, legs are nice and strong, pull it back up with control. Lovely. One more just like that. Lean over. Pull it back up nice and strong. Float both hands down to the ground. We're going to slide that right leg back so we find that longer, deeper lunge. Curl the back toes under. Pick your back knee up. Right hand is going to stay on the ground. Left hand's going to reach up for a twist. Beautiful. Bring that left hand down to the ground. Plant your palms. Step back to a plank. Awesome. Bring your knees down. Lower with control onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Nice. One more time here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. We're going to find our way up to downward facing dog. So you might choose to come up through a table, power up to a plank, take it right up to your down dog. Come through it any way that feels best to you. Take a moment to pause in your down dog. Take a breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. We're going to come to a little forward fold here. And then in our forward fold, keep your knees slightly bent, tent your fingers so you get those nice tall cupcake hands or piano fingers. So our hands are just going to offer us a little bit of support. Shift your weight onto your left foot. We're going to take 3 bends of the right knee. So you're going to hug your heel in toward your butt, let the toe touch down. Hug your heel in toward your butt, let the toe touch down. Lovely. One more time, just like that. Hug your heel in toward your butt. Let your toe touch down, place that foot on the ground, shift your weight onto your right foot and take it right over to the left. Bend your knee, hug your heel in toward your butt, release it down, bend your knee, hug it in toward your butt, Release it down. Lovely. One more time. Bend your knee, hug it in toward your butt. Release it down, both feet on the ground. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back into that 90-90 lunge. So we're going to bring the knee down, release your toes, rise up, pull that hip crease back, reach your arms up, draw your tailbone down. See if you can find just a little sensation through the front of that left hip. Awesome. From here, we're going to take it into a little twist. So left hand's going to find the right knee, right hand to the hip, rotating to the right. Take a nice big breath, and you can leverage into that knee. Look over the back shoulder if it feels available. Nice. And then when you're ready, release, rotate back to center. Right hand's going to stay on the hip. Left hand's going to reach up. Take a side bend over to the right. Legs are nice and strong. Bring it back up. Lean over to the right. And bring it back up. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. Lean over to the right. Bring it back up and then float your hands down. We're going to slide that back leg into a deeper lunge, curling the back toes under, picking the back knee up. Nice. Left hand stays down. Right hand reaches up for a twist. Beautiful. Bring that hand down to the ground. Plant your palms. Step back to a plank. Pause in your plank just for a moment. Broaden your shoulders. Feel nice and strong through the front of your body. And then when you're ready, release your knees, lower with control onto your belly. Nice. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. And then find your way to downward facing dog, whether you power up to a plank or through a tabletop. Exhale as you come on up. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. We're going to stay in a folded position and move right into some Shiva Squats. So we're going to keep those tall piano fingers nice and anchored on the ground. Shift your weight onto your left leg. We're going to bend that right knee. Beautiful. Now we're going to kick that right foot up towards the ceiling just a little bit and then squat. So you're taking that right knee, tucking it behind the left into a little curtsy. Beautiful. And then push that foot back up towards the ceiling. Bend and bring it in for a little curtsy. Don't worry about how high that leg goes. When you're ready, kick it up towards the sky. Bend and bring it in for a little curtsy. And we're going to pause in that curtsy. So feel that knee connected behind your knee. Feel your foot standing on the ground. Lovely. And then when you're ready, gently release, set that foot down onto the ground, take it right to the other side, picking that left knee up, bend. We're going to take it into our little curtsy and then shoot that heel up towards the sky. Does not matter how high it goes. Bend and bring it in. Shoot it up nice and high. Bend and bring it in. Pause in that curtsy just for a moment. Notice your standing leg. Notice that knee connected to the back of the knee. Soften just a little bit, release, place that foot onto the ground, bend both knees, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Find your mountain pose again. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold, knees bent or straight, totally up to you. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, stepping the right leg back, low lunge, but this time go back a little bit further to a point that feels comfortable to you. Let the back toes go, hand to the front knee, lift your chest, pull that left hip crease back, reach your arms up, take a nice big breath. Exhale, float your hands down to the ground. We're going to take it into 3 half splits here. So we're going to rock back and then come forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Rock back. Come forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Rock back. Come forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. But now we're going to toe heel that foot out a little bit wider. So we're going to get it towards the outer edges of your mat. And then you're just going to rearrange that back knee so it feels super comfortable on the ground. If you need to double cushion your mat, do whatever it needs. But now we're going to take that left hand. We're going to step it way out and off the left side of the mat. So we're going to be leaning out to the left just a little bit. Take that right hand, reach it up and think side bend. So what we're shooting for is big sensation through the front of that right hip pocket. And then we're going to add in a little bit of a rocking sensation. So you're going to push the hips forward and release, push the hips forward and release, keep that side bend, Push the hips forward and release. Nice. One more time, just like that, just so you can find it. Wonderful. And then swim your hands back around and in. Plant your palms, curl the back toes under. We're going to send that left leg back to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or two of the legs here. And then when you're ready, shift your weight forward so you come into your plank position. Bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One Cobra here, just as high as you like. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale, up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. And then as you come up to standing position, pause for a moment, make sure your blood pressure is to return to its normal level. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Keep your hips as square as you can. Slide your right leg back. Big toe is going to stay on the ground for a moment. Square up those hips. And then we're going to hinge from the waist, leaning forward just a little bit so that back toe is going to lift up off the ground. Think warrior three, but keeping the hands with that awareness on the hips. So if that right hip started to pick up way high, can you square it up? You might lose height, but you gain control. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slide that foot in, plant the foot down, come back to your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, low lunge. Bring the knee down, release those back toes. Hands to the knee, lift your chest, pull the hip crease back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Beautiful, float those hands down, 3 half splits here. Rock the hips back, peel the front toes up. Rock yourself forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Rock yourself back, peel the toes up. Rock yourself forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Nice, one more just like that. Rock yourself back, rock yourself forward, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Beautiful. And now we're going to toe heel that foot out a little bit wider. So we get that wide position with the leg, and then the right hand is going to reach way out and off the side of your mat. So we lean out just a little bit. Left hand is going to reach up, so we get that side bend position. And then we're going to take a little pulse here. So hips come forward just a little bit and release. Hips come forward just a little bit and release. 2 more just like that so you can find it. It's a little bit of effort on that right hand if you're not planting your palm, but then when you're ready, spin those legs around, spin those hands around, come back to the center of your mat. Beautiful. Curl the back toes under, lift that back knee up. We're going to shoot that front leg back to a downward facing dog. When you're ready, bring it forward into a plank, shoulders come in line with the wrists. Pause in your plank for a moment. And then when you're ready, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of the elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs as you lower with control. 1 Cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart just as high as you like. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders down and back, hands to the hips, shift your weight over onto your right foot, keeping your hips as square as you can, slide that left big toe back. And then with that little hinge from your hips, lean your heart forward, picking that leg up, but see if you can keep your hips squared up. So if that left hip started to pick up nice and high, keep it a little bit lower, find your stability, strengthen your hips, strengthen your standing leg, take 1 more moment. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release that foot back down to the ground. Take a second to bop out those knees, wiggle out your hips, wiggle out your shoulders. We're going to come back to that warrior 3, just going back to both sides, but taking it in a little bit more fluid motion. So interlace your fingers, find that Charlie's Angel Mudra or Temple Mudra, hands right at your heart. Shift your weight over to your left foot. We're going to slide the right leg back, hip hinge, reach forward, reach through your foot, reach your arms out, gaze down and forward. Take 1 good breath and then release. Pull it all the way back in with a little bit of control. Bounce out anything that you need to. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Slide your left leg back. As you lift up, hinge from your waist, reach the arms forward. And then when you're ready, pull it all the way back in. Set your foot down Come back to your mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position. Big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Come right back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back to your heels. Belly, chest, and forehead melt down. Now a soft position with the arms. So rather than that reach and length through the arms, let your elbows be soft. Let your hands be soft. Let everything soften here. Come back to your breath. Now from here, we're going to move our way up into a seat so that we can take 3 lines breath. But you might choose to stay in your extended child's pose. That might be where you need to be right now. So you just take a moment to just check in, see where you're at. But if you think a little clearing of the throat chakra would be good for you, walk yourself on up. We're going to pick our hands up, rotate our lines, pause so fingertips are pointing in, and then we're going to plant those palms on the ground. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, stick out your tongue, look to your third eye, make a bunch of noise. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, let it all go. One more breath. Exhale and let it go. Nice. And then when you're ready, gently release those palms, give your fingers a little wiggle, give your wrists a little shake. And then we're going to float our butt up, swing your legs out to one side, spin it around, and send your legs out in front of you nice and long. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to take a little bit of a forward fold, but nice active position. So start by just paying attention to your feet, a little flex in the feet and the toes are pulling in towards the body. And then just kind of wiggle into your sits bones. And if you need to, just bring your hands underneath so you can find and locate those sits bones so you know exactly what you're sitting on. And then find this nice, beautiful upright position with the body lifting upward. Reach your arms up and overhead. Keep that active position with the legs. Feel those sits bones and then hinge from your hips. So keep that long position of the spine, nice energy reaching through the hands, and then just come to the point where you feel a good sensation in the back of the leg, no zinging up into the butt, no pain in the low back. Once you've found your way there, keep that long line with your spine, but just float your hands down to the ground. Feet are nice and active, still feeling that sensation in the back of the leg, nice and long in the spine. And now we're going to press into the fingertips. Drag your fingertips strong as you lift up through the crown of your head. Keep that nice long spine. Beautiful. And then press into your palms, lift your butt up, scoot your butt forward, curl your tailbone under, roll your way down to the ground with control. Once you found your way down to the ground, just give yourself a second. Get yourself all set up, get situated. No, we're going towards our Shavasana. So if you've got that blanket handy, just make sure it's somewhere where you can reach. And then we're going to take it right into a figure 4. So right leg is going to come across the left, hands free to start. We're just going to pick the left leg up and invite a gentle wobble into our figure 4, just a little rock side to side. Nice. One more little rock side to side, and then we're going to thread the hands through, maybe grabbing hold of the back of the thigh if that's available. And we're going to push the thigh into the basket weave of the hands. So rather than pulling the legs in towards the body to start, push your thigh away from you. Take one good breath. And then as you exhale, soften that and gently draw the legs in toward your body, going just to a point that feels comfortable to you. You should still be able to keep your shoulders soft. You should breathe comfortably here. Take one more breath. And then we're going to release our handhold from the back of the thigh or the shin. Slide your right knee across like you're crossing your legs in a chair, and then re-grab. So either grabbing the shins or the tops of the feet, whatever handhold works better for you. Think about pulling the toes away from each other. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Turn your head to the left. Bring your head back to center. Release just a little bit. And then we're going to draw the knees back in, but turn your head to the right. Beautiful. Gently release as your head turns to center. Unwind those legs, set them down, pause for a moment, take a breath, and just notice. Cool. And then when you're ready, left leg is going to come across the right, set up that figure four to the other side, hands free to start. You're going to pick that figure four up and then wobble a little side to side. Nice. One more little wobble side to side. And then we're going to thread the hands through, grabbing the back of the thigh if you can, making that nice little basket weave, and then push your thigh into your hands. Hands are going to resist. Take a nice big breath. And then as you exhale, soften, draw the legs in gently to a position that feels good to you. Shoulders are soft. You're still breathing comfortably. Beautiful. Take one more breath. And then release your hand hold, slide your left leg across the right, like you're crossing your legs in a chair. And then we're going to re-grab. So either grabbing the shins or the tops of the feet, pull the toes away from each other as you draw the knees in towards your chest. Soften up just a little bit. And then we'll do that again. Pull the knees in, turn your head to the left. Release a little bit as you turn your head back to center. And then pull the knees in as you turn your head to the right. Release and bring your head back to center. Unwind your legs. Set both feet down on the ground. Pause just for a moment to notice. And then we're going to move right into a supine twist. So pull your right knee into your chest. Left leg is going to extend nice and long. And now we're going to go fully into our supine twist. So right knee is going to go over and across the body. Your hip's going to move with you. Spine is going to twist and right hand is going to extend out straight from your shoulder. If it feels comfortable to your head and your neck, you'll turn your head to the right if that feels good. Take one more breath. When you're ready, pull your right knee into your chest, bring the left knee into meet, give yourself a nice little squeeze, and then set it up for the other side. Hold on to your left knee, let your right leg go nice and long. Take that left knee over and across the body, let the hips roll, let your spine rotate, turn your head to the left, hand out to the left if that feels good. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest, bring your right knee into meet, give yourself one last little squeeze. And then set your feet down on the ground and then ask your body where would be your best Shavasana. Would it feel good to come back to constructive rest, letting the knees drop in towards each other? Would it feel good to come to reclined cobbler's pose, maybe tucking some blankets under your thighs so it's a nice supportive position? Or does it feel good to take that more traditional shape, maybe tucking a blanket around you so you get nice and cozy? Maybe throw on your socks, maybe throw on your sweater, whatever works good for you. But give yourself just a little bit of time to get into a nice, comfortable position. And then once you've got yourself tucked in and cozied up, allow a little time to just let your body work out those little wiggles. Hands and feet are in a soft and comfortable position. Allow your legs to be soft and heavy. Take a moment to notice your hips and your butt. If you're holding any tension there, can you allow a little softness to come into that place? If you're holding tension in your abdomen or especially around your belly button, can you invite some softness there? Allow your chest to get nice and heavy, shoulders soft and heavy. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Become aware of the floor beneath you. Take a moment just to tune into the sounds around you. So notice the sounds of the room that you're working in. And then see if you can just go beyond that and notice the sounds outside of the room that you're working in. And then sticking with that hearing sensation, but gently start to wake up your body. So maybe you invite some wiggle into your fingers and wiggle into your toes, but can you listen to the sounds that start to get created by gently moving and reawakening your body? And then maybe invite some bigger movements in, turning your head, moving your knees, wiggling your wrists and your ankles, any gentle movement that wakes you up. But once you've found that gentle movement, can you tune back in? Listen into the sounds of your body, the sounds of your body connected to the space that you're working in. And then if it feels really great to do so, take a big good morning stretch like a yawn. Stretch your legs long, reach your arms up and overhead, and then find that nice long reach from fingers to toes. Take up a whole bunch of space in your world. Take a nice big breath back into your body. And then in your own way, at your own pace, start to find your way up to a comfortable seated position. So you might choose to rock and roll up or roll to one side, but take your time as you come on up. Awesome. And then as you come up to that nice comfortable seated position, we're just going to take our fingers and a nice light little tapping up and down. So from the sternum up to the collarbones. And if you like, close your eyes down here so you can listen back in. Just breathing naturally and just tuning in and noticing that nice little sound or vibration that is connected to your breathing and connected to your chest. Take one more little light tap up and down. And then when you're ready, stacking both hands right on top of your heart, bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And breathe in a little extra love and gratitude that you can carry with you through the rest of your day and share with everyone you see. And when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday.